Hi, everyone. I want to read to you this week from Sacred Journeys by Jan Richardson. She is just such an amazing and wonderful and thought-provoking person and writer. So this week, we're going to think about Ruth, Naomi, and Orpah. And we all know the story of Ruth. Uh, there's a whole book in the Bible about it. As a matter of fact, my dear, dear friend Carmen, when I was a little girl and not behaving particularly well, well, all right. So we used to take this youth group. My folks would take this youth group in, I'm not kidding, 2 buses out. We would learn a musical every winter. And then in the summer, we would take it on the road and we would always do some sort of helping trip, like some sort of outreach while we were there besides the musical. But then at the end, we would go camping, hiking up in the Rocky Mountains for a week. So people just loved it. We were gone for probably 2 or 3 weeks every summer doing this and singing in different churches all over the place. But you had to be a certain age, and I wasn't that age. I was still too young, but on the cusp of being old enough, but not allowed to participate yet. And so I was in a foul mood that particular year because it to me, like there are all these people who I just admired so much who were on the bus, and I was in the station wagon with my folks, didn't like that. Which of course was, I mean, and it was good that I was there. I was too young. But anyway, Carmen, who was a young mom and one of the leaders in this group, she sat in the back of the car. Bless her, she's a sweet, sweetheart. And we read the whole book of Ruth together as we were driving out west. And I know she did that as a favor to my mom. I'm sure she did, but I have never forgotten it. I love that story as a result because Carmen was one of the sweetest, most patient, kind people in my life. She made a huge, she has always been a role model for me for what good-natured patience looks like. Anyway, there you go. That's my little TMI story about me. And thank you, Carmen. I know you're out there somewhere back in the Twin Cities. All right. So Jan Richardson, this wonderful, wonderful writer, says, so her invocation, her beginning thought is, God of the journey, accompany me along the unfamiliar paths. Grace me with companions of the heart, that I may be at home in all places. Being a minister's kid, I know all about finding companions of the heart in all places. I've moved more times than you can shake a stick at, and found that I can reinvent myself. And that's a wonderful, resilient, sometimes lonely thing. But it also has meant that I've met so many wonderful, beautiful people over the course of my life, and I love all of you. So there you go. It's a lovely invocation. It really spoke to me. So here we go. So now she says, 3 women stand together on a dusty road as they talk, weep, wail, touch, and kiss. Their movements reveal 3 distinct individuals who stand on the edge of their lives. In a pocket of solitude along this road, the women of this circle draw on their own visions and resources to decide for themselves the path each will take. In this borderland between Moab and Bethlehem, between the known and the unknown, these women define themselves as they enact the choices they allow one another to make. Unrelated by blood, these strangers who have become family work out among themselves how they will relate to one another in the days to come. Their choices challenge us to ponder what family really means. For Orpah, ties to blood beckon her to return to her family of origin. For Ruth, ties of shared experience and history summon her to journey on with her family of choice. We need not consider either choice better, although Ruth's may be more surprising, in that she chooses a cross cultural relationship with a woman rather than with a man of her own nationality. Okay, I'm gonna. Now, her first piece is a poem that she wrote about Orpah called Orpah the Return. Some say I took the easy way, but the return was still a journey. Some say that my homegoing was the path much more secure, but with each step, I wondered what lay hidden beyond each turn. Some say I could not bear Naomi's unfamiliar road, but 10 years and a newfound life leave childhood paths somewhat less certain. Some say I feared too much the strange new land, its foreign hills, but they miss my own adventure to reconcile my once known landscape with the contours of my changing self. Some say I took the easy way, but I say the return is still a journey. And then Jan asks us, when have you tried to return to what was once home, and what happened? And I can tell you, as a minister's kid, and as a minister, and all the moves I've made, yeah, you can't really go back. You go back and it's not the same. Things have changed, people have moved, and our experiences have all made us different people. You can still love one another, but there's never that homecoming that you long for. Okay, let's see, what was the next one I wanted to share with you? I'm not going to share the whole week. She does each one of these chapters is a week of reflection on a theme. And I won't read it all to you, but she's such a beautiful thinker. Okay, hang on. Sorry, I lost my thread. Aha, here we go. Nope, there we go. Companion, calm together and panis, bread. The companion shares bread with another. That's a wonderful way of looking at it. And it's also really good to know your etymology so you can actually take these words apart and understand the roots of it. As you know, I love to do that. So does Jan. In the fields of Israel during the first harvest after famine, Ruth gleans wheat for the making of bread. She shares bread with Naomi as her mother-in-law shares life, home, land, and God with Ruth. The prayer of companionship, sharing bread, releases the holy into the world through a communion of mystery present in the most common, in all that is. Bread represents whatever is most common and most essential, most necessary to life itself. It is so simple as to be almost overlooked unless it is missing. Without it, we cannot live long. When we break and share bread together, we bring about companionship, extend life, and reveal the Holy One. The Ruth woman sings the song of bread. Her God is revealed in the eyes of the ones she companions. She is a woman of the hearth, incarnating her life and work, that first awareness women ever had of a sacredness at the center of the circle of life, a sacredness creating the circle. God is the seed women planted in primal times, the grain women harvested, the bread they baked and shared. Ruth is the mother of Eucharist, of communion. And this is a poem. It's by Kristen Lore Weber in Blessings, a Woman Christ Reflection on the Beatitudes. It's called The Song. I am Ruth. I remember. I never leave my land, for you are my land, nor my people, for they are all that is born from your womb. O great and holy earth, I remember you from the beginning, so that everywhere is my hearth and my home, and no field of grain is strange to me. I will sow the seed, gather grain, and bake bread, and I myself will be the bread I bake and break and share. As you are the seed and the earth where it is sown, you are the oven of transformation and the nourishment. We are one body, the earth, contained in endless love, all present and alive in a crust of bread. You are not unknown. You are the bread. And then Jan asks us, Ruth learned to live, to break bread, to sing in a strange land. When have you left a place to live in a new one or a strange one? And what sustained you? And how did you learn to live there? All right. I could read and read to you, but I bet you'd love to read that book yourself. It's a beautiful book. It's certainly available in you can order it online, and it's wonderful, thought-provoking, and very gentle. All right. I will see you next week. Now, remember, by the end of June, I take the July, August break from doing midweek messages just to get you ready for that. So you'll see me a few more times, and then we'll take a break, and then you'll see me again in September. So until next week, and in this together with you, Reverend Stephanie, signing off.